Hey guys, what's up? So, I'm super excited for this next story. I honestly think it's going to be one of the creepiest ones I ever write. There are a few connections from other stories if you follow my other material, from Madam Regina, The Haunted Antique Shop, Robert Davidson, The Other Man, to Kalisha Stephens, Coco's Secret, to Sebastian from the couples counselor, intervening all these characters for this. This mentions supernatural possession, mental illness, and other topics. This is about a man that was possessed as a boy because of a Ouija board him and his friends were playing with. When this evil presence enters his body, he's younger, he fell out of a treehouse, and ever since then, he was diagnosed with DID. However, someone who falls for the shell realizes that there's something not right, and that he might not have a mental illness. There's something more insidious at work here. The Vessel, Episode 1, Several Disturbing Events. First of all, using Sebastian as a main character for me was so perfectly fitting for this, especially since he's so flawed. Because if you know his origin story, or even what happened to him with Levi and the couples counselor, you would see how broken that relationship left him. He literally wanted Levi back, but obviously Levi knew he couldn't give him what he wanted romantically. The specifics to all this wasn't that important. That's why I didn't really elaborate. What matters is that it left him broken. But that's not why he's come back to see Robert Davidson, the same therapist to try to help him with that relationship, when he too was secretly falling for the same patient. I also thought that all this uncomfortable tension between them really made it more interesting. Even Robert Davidson gets a little nervous when Levi's name was mentioned. You could tell when his pen dropped, but he then finds out that his visit was because of something else, something actually more serious. We last left Sebastian off in the last story with him trying to connect more with his father. He remarried another woman and had a kid, naming him after Sebastian, but Junior. His dad went on a trip with his wife to New Hampshire in the cabins, and there was an accident. The cabin was burned, with both their bodies found. However, it was said that they were killed before the fire. Gossip and rumors going around that his dad had something to do with it, and this is what's troubling Sebastian. Not only that, but also taking care of a boy, which he has no idea. If you remember, Sebastian was more of a party boy, and now he has to switch roles. Robert Davidson actually gives him a few words of encouragement, telling him that under the tough circumstances, he's doing the best job he can. The timer goes off, which means Robert Davidson's next patient is up. In the meantime, there's a passed out patient sleeping in the waiting room, and the receptionist watching the mini TV at her desk, watching her husband, Officer Stephens, chasing a serial killer on the freeway. She's frantically trying to get in touch with him on the phone, annoyed and angry, worried about their kids losing their father. Sebastian asks Kalisha for another appointment card for next week. She's doing this, but also trying to keep her eyes on the news, the live feed. He leaves while checking out the handsome guy in the waiting room that was knocked out. Officer Stephens tells the killer that is on the ramp with a gun to his head to put it down and get off from the ledge. He even promised him that he will get him help. He keeps telling him that he can't live with himself, knowing that he killed all those girls. So he pulls the trigger and falls back as the patient in the waiting room wakes up, and the therapist opens the door and asks him if he's ready for his session. Stay tuned for the next episode.